Hello and welcome back to Football Manager once again. We are now at the Liverpool fixture. Unfortunately, as you probably saw in the last game, Kelvin did get injured with a gashed lower leg. So unfortunately he is out for today's fixture against Liverpool. We did lose to Real Madrid if you didn't watch the last episode, which isn't great. I have to admit it's not great. In the intermittent period, we have now agreed the finalisation of the sale of Ben Thompson. He's leaving for £750,000 to QPR, which is fairly good, that deal being done. And once he leaves, a huge amount of wage budget will be freed. I mean, £37,500 is a lot of money. Today's fixture against Liverpool is on the television, which is, oh god, I sound like I'm in my 60s. On the TV, not the television, on the TV, which is important because we haven't actually won a TV fixture for about 6 months, which could be construed as worrying, but hey ho. We've gone for this team today. I think you probably saw me make it at the end of the last episode. If not, I did it just after the episode must have finished. To prepare for the game, so I'd actually trained with this formation in the last 2 days. We've got Plizzari in goal with Erdogan at right back. We've got Tuanzebe and Euler in centre back with Augusto at left back. Doyle, Tishwan Thomas and Iban Nato in central midfield because Roberto Lopez wasn't at the condition he needed to be at to play, as well as the fact we wanted to play with a more balanced team rather than an attacking team for this game. We've got Jovanovski and Ildrim in the attacking roles, with Louis Barry up front. Nestorov is out of the team for today because he's not got enough condition. But Louis Barry hopefully might score in this game. He is total up to 4 goals, which would be nice. Other than that, no major news, I don't think. The Tycoon is still looking to make some investment, but as of yet hasn't, which of course is going to be a worry. But hopefully he'll make the investment at some point in the near future. So we've got this team against Liverpool today. Yildirim is probably going to come off on the 70th or so minute unless he scores for Nestorov. If he does score, we'll have to leave him on, of course, because we want to make sure our best players stay on for as long as possible, unless they do go to such a level that they cannot do it safely. So we'll leave this team on as it is until we need to make changes. We've gone on a good run lately. Go out there and impress, because they can do that. I think they can do that quite easily. But now I've said that, as I mentioned in the last video, I'm gonna have to eat my words because that's just what this game does. You praise your team and then your team loses because that's just what happens. Jovanovski heads the ball out to the edge of the box. Florentino crosses it to the right wing for Alexander Arnold, who gets into the box, and as proof of the pudding, Dele Alli makes it 1-0 for Liverpool, and we drop back down into the Europa League spots. And Liverpool, I believe, will climb to top spot, given the current state of the Premier League table, but I could be wrong. But that was an atrocious bit of defending from both the actual defenders as well as the goalkeeper, who should not have strayed that far from the centre of the box. But no, Southampton will not lose top spot, as they are still on a 100% start to the season, which is surprising to say the very least. Very surprising. Liverpool now with the ball. Elliott pulls the ball up and plays it back to him. Plays it forward to, I apologise. Plays it forward to Alexander Arnold, who shoots, but the ball goes wide of the post. I apologise for not being able to pronounce half of the Liverpool team. To be honest with you, I don't know how to pronounce what those names would be, because they have accents that would be changing the pronunciation of certain vowels or certain letters, so it just becomes more difficult. Jovanovski now with the ball, tries a cross but blocked by Liverpool, and Dele Alli kicks the ball forward for Jovic, who gets tackled by Tuanzebe, but now this player runs it forward, and he gets tackled by Doyle, and apparently it's a penalty. Yes, of course it's a penalty, because we can't go against a top 6 team without giving away a penalty. Apologies as well if I sound highly, what's the word? Annoyed, if that's the right word to use. But this is a frustrating thing because it happens quite a lot. You know, we have games against top 6 sides and they just get given a penalty because they seem to deserve a penalty for some reason. We've been controlling this game and yet somehow we're doing terribly. And it just doesn't make sense to me as reason for why. I mean, prior to this game, we were on a 3-match Premier League winning streak, which included a win over Chelsea and a win over Everton. But yet, for now, we can't seem to attack, we can't seem to defend. And it's just incredibly frustrating. There we go, 3-0. Harvey Elliott makes it a third for Liverpool in this fixture. And it is incredibly frustrating because it's not clear to me what is the reason for this poor performance. It just isn't clear. You know, someone will say, oh, so you've changed the tactic, you changed the formation, you changed the mentality of the team. But that's not really going to make much of a difference. I mean, when we played against Real Madrid, we were playing the exact same team, the exact same mentality, but we lost 3-1. So clearly it's not changing things that's going to make things different. And I'm going to say it was an absolutely terrible performance, because it was an atrocious performance. But unfortunately it's what we're going to have to live with at this point, because we haven't got a team that's going to challenge the top 6 yet, safely enough. We might get the odd lucky win here and there, but we're not going to be able to get reliable victories against them week in, week out, which is, again, highly frustrating. Now, Palacios plays the ball out wide, finding Dele Alli. Back into the middle, finding him. Now back out wide to Elliott, who gets into the box and shoots, but saved barely by Plizzari. And I know which 3 players I'm going to be bringing off immediately. I know exactly who I'm bringing off. Dele Alli now with the ball. Gets it straight past Erdogan, almost as if he's not there, and to Anzebe, but thankfully his shot goes wide of the post. Plizzari now with a goal kick, plays it to Anzebe. And he gets tackled by Jovic, and Plizzari luckily makes the save. This is incredibly, incredibly frustrating. And you probably watching, if you're watching this at all, will probably be sitting there going, well, why is it frustrating? It's just a game. It's frustrating because it's a game that's making you lose for no well-explained reason. I mean, if you lose at FIFA, you know why you lost at FIFA, because you're not as good as the AI or what have you. I mean, if you die in GTA or you die in Saints Row, you know why you died, because you got caught off guard and you were not prepared. But in this, it's a simple random number generator which is causing you to lose. It's essentially the same as getting pissed off at bingo. And whilst getting pissed off at bingo is not exactly the norm, it's definitely something that will occur at some point with someone. And the 3 changes I'm going to make are all going to come at the exact same time. We're going to bring Ildrim, Barry and Jovanovski off. And these are our 3 substitutes for today. And we're going to have an inside forward in Hadji, so we can hopefully get 2 men up front in a sort of haphazard way. And as you can see, this team is motivated, highly, except for Mario Augusto. Everyone was motivated at the back, but he's just frustrated, and you can understand why, because the rest of the team is not pulling their weight. I mean, he isn't doing that great. 6.5 from him, he's not playing that well. I understand that. But in a game where you're losing 3-0, bringing off a defender for a defender is not going to help the scoreline. Bringing off 3 attacking players is going to help that scoreline. And there has been 0 attempts on goal for the last 20 minutes. I'm going to put to attacking for the last 10 minutes and ask for 10 minutes more of some passion from the boys. But it's clear to see at this point that 3-0 is the final score. And we were dominating the first 10 minutes. I mean, hell, the first 30 minutes we were controlling possession. We had 60% possession. We had equal shots to shots. But we just got demolished 3-0. And I don't understand why. Honestly, do not understand why. And I'm going to be aggressive in my acknowledgement of the fact that they were not good enough. They do not deserve to lose 3-0 to Liverpool. And if we don't fix that result against Sheffield and Watford, we are going to expect to lose when we play the team we're playing on the after Sheffield, because it's just going to happen. When we play the team after we play Sheffield, it's just going to happen. And apparently my own tactical blunder ends the winning run. I don't agree with that. And it's Lazio we're playing. Then we've got Manchester City, a team currently in 10th place. The only top 6 sides that are in the top 6 is Manchester United, Liverpool and Tottenham. Arsenal, Man City and Chelsea are all in the mid-table. I mean, Chelsea were bottom of the table for the first 3 games of the season. It is frustrating. I've said this enough times over and over again, it's frustrating. But, and this is an important but here, when we come back, we're going to come back for the Feyenoord, Aston Villa fixtures. We're not going to show Lazio and Man City because it's just too close to what we've shown now. So we're going to show mid-October fixtures. Then we're going to go all the way through to Lazio and Southampton, the 2 home fixtures, not Lazio and Watford, because I'm planning on showing Watford here. Because if I'm not mistaken, if we get through the group stages, this will be around about the time we play the second leg of the first round. And if not, we should also play an FA Cup game around that time as well. So we're going to show Southampton, Lazio and Feyenoord, Aston Villa. So until then, as I say every episode, I bid thee adieu. Goodbye.